Hi everyone, welcome back to Shoebird's podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Michelle, and today's guest is Todd Baker. Hi Todd.
Hi, Brooke. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being a guest today on my podcast.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me, and just being able to chat with you a little bit.
So can you tell my listeners a little bit about how Project Nine Life started?
Yeah, absolutely. So I might hold the record for the shortest New Year's resolution of all time. In 2020, mine lasted, let's see, 3 days,
Right.
and yeah, so it started off like I wanted to lose weight because I looked in the mirror, didn't like what was looking back at me. And so I was like, I gotta lose weight. And day four, I live in Denver, so it's snowing. And I was like, I'll take a day off. It's fine. I'll take a day off.
Mhm.
But unlike a lot of people who that might have been the end of their journey, or they might have said, I'll wait till spring, or I'll wait till the weather, or whatever. I took that opportunity to really examine like what I truly wanted and who it was important to. And what I landed on, and kind of after going through that for the day, was that the reason I didn't really want to lose weight, like there was nothing on the scale or pair of shorts or whatever that I needed to fit into.
Mhm.
It was I wanted to get fit so that I could be and do stuff with my kids way late into life, and then, at some point have grandkids and just be active to where I can enjoy life with them. So it went from like, the first day it was weight loss. And then after that, I didn't care. It was just, I just wanted to get fit. And so, over the course of the next year, I mean, I didn't really do a lot to my diet. I mean, I was eating pretty good before. I just, cut out carbs and some sugars. And then I just started walking every single day. Just I would go out for a walk, and it started off with like, mile and a half, and then it went to 2, and then 3, and then, all of a sudden it was like 4 and 5, and I was perfectly fine to do it. um, and I ended up, along with that came weight loss, but
Mhm.
that was never the intent. And I told my kids about it when I restarted my resolution, or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
I shared it with them why it was important to me and what I was doing, and both short-term and long-term reasons for it. And it reared its head about 3 weeks later. I was making breakfast and it was snowing again, and my daughter comes downstairs and she's like, "Are you gonna go for your walk today?" And I was like, "Well, I gotta see what the snow does, but yes, I will go. It's just I want to see if the storm is gonna pass or not." And without even hesitation, she looked me dead in the eye and she goes, "You mean now?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And I put my shoes and stuff on. But the moment that created for me, and it still gives me goosebumps to think about, is by sharing with them what I was doing and why it was important to me to be there for them, to be there with them for all these activities. It was important to them too. And that's what resonated, is that we oftentimes we set out on these journeys or whatever, these life paths or anything to get to a certain level, but there's other people impacted, and what we're doing impacts them both either positively or negatively depending on how you're approaching it. But it was important to them, and that it's still, I can still see her face like, "You mean now?" And I was like, "Oh, yes I do."
Yeah, I agree with you because weight loss, whenever you gain weight, that can come with diabetes, all these other medical problems that people do not have the money for. So I agree with you. Losing weight is a good goal to have. So how did you lose weight? Like just by walking, and like, did you eat healthy? I think you said you took some of the sweets out, but did you, like,
Yeah.
cut out certain foods?
The only thing I did was I just limited the number of carbs that I ate, and I cut out all added sugars. That's the only thing I did to my diet.
Oh.
I had been eating fairly healthy leading up till that.
Mhm.
Like I would eat salads and a lot of fish and stuff like that. But that was really the only kind of change that I made. I
Mhm.
wasn't taking like pills or anything like that. But to speak more to like what it means to what ended up being weight loss, but it was like getting fit was just consistency. Like I went every single day, and it's been God, it's approaching 4 years, and I still go every single day. It's just part of, because after about a month or so, it stopped being what I was doing and it became who I am.
Mhm.
And like there was neighbors that I had never met before that I'd walk up and I'd introduce myself or whatever, and they would just look at me and be like, yeah, you're the guy that always goes for a walk. Yeah, yeah. But it's because I went every single day, and I still go every single day. And it's just, what you put out, you create in your life. So it's like, if you put out creativity, you'll get it back. If you put out, helping others, then you'll get that back. And I put out that I wanted to be fit, and I got that back in spades.
Oh, that's amazing. So I wanted you to talk about the Project Nine. We're gonna pull up your website, and you said that before then you said that there's really five.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I want
It's,
to
yeah.
this right here.
Yep.
Oh.
So it started off as nine,
Mhm.
just because I had steps in between where it was like the work comes in.
Mhm.
But really, it boils down to a very simple plan. And this goes for any goal that you've got. And let's
Mhm.
face it, with resolutions, people are going to set goals for one of three. It's
Right.
health, wealth, and relationships. So, and really what it's about is like, are you trapped in your circumstance and you want to unlock your potential and reinvigorate your passion for getting out and exploring the world? So really it boils down to five very simple steps. And the program itself is simple. It's not difficult. It's not this 10-ton behemoth that you got to lift, or follow these 87 steps and you'll get going on stuff. It's
Mhm.
five things, and it's stuff that you're going to do anyway. It's figuring out what your goal is, finding out what your inspiration is, figuring out how you're going to do it, figuring out what obstacles are going to lay in your way,
Mhm.
and then last is what's next, because it becomes addictive. Like when you start achieving things and making progress,
Mhm.
your body wants more, and your psyche just wants more. It's a fuel. And so it's always, you'll get about halfway through and you'll be like, all right, I've created a new level of myself with whatever I was doing.
Mhm.
I need something else. I want more. I want, and I've had clients that they started off with like what they thought was their best life was here,
Mhm.
and then they got there, and then they discovered that their best life was actually up here.
Right.
And and it's because they're constantly striving, and it's just daily progress. That's all it is.
Wow. So I wanted you to walk through these with us. Oh yeah, you said, yeah,
Yep.
download it. It won't show up if I do it. Download it. So do you have any events going on or happening anytime soon, or?
No, I don't. Typically, like group events are like by invite. I don't, like I haven't gone out and done like webinars or rented the Hyatt or anything like that to stack people into. Usually it's by invite. It's either, community associations, some companies, stuff like that. But the benefit of not going to one of those, and I'll just use Tony Robbins because he's right at the top of my head, but
Oh yeah.
because he's amazing. I mean, he's truly amazing what he's created. But the people that go to those live events, they get all pumped up. They're all full of just all this spit and vinegar, and I'm going to go conquer the world. And then they end, and typically those are the same people that go to the bar, and they forget anything that they just learned, and there's no takeaway. Whereas with us, like you can see there, it's a free 30-minute consultation. So all we're going to do is we're going to talk about where you're at, where you want to go, and how we can help you get there. And if you're a right fit for the program and the program's a right fit for you, only at that point am I going to go into like, okay, this is the program, this is how much it costs, because not everyone's right for it. And I'm not right for everyone. Stuff that I say, or it's how I say it, or, how I word it, it might not resonate with you. And if it doesn't, if what I say doesn't resonate with you and cause you to take action, then I'm not your coach. You want to find someone that's going to motivate you and inspire you to do something about it.
Exactly. Not sugarcoated, but
yeah,
push.
Yeah. Well, just I mean, it has to make sense, like with what you want and where you're going, and like the plan that we'll talk about it's like I said, it's very simple. It's easy enough to follow, but with the actual, you get into the program, they're group Zoom calls. There's it's 8 weeks worth of group Zoom calls, and the nice thing about that is I'm learning just as much as I'm teaching. Because people, when they get into it and they grasp it, and they start making the progress and start making and achieving what they set out to, they share some of the most amazing stories and different ways that they've gone about it. And people learn from others, and it's a community. Like everyone's on the same path of leveling up their life, no matter what their goal is. Their goal could be 180 degrees different, but they're still attacking life and want to level up where they're at.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question. So when you do the group meetings, do you all talk about like do you put your clients on like a diet plan? Like, do you help them with a diet plan as well, or you don't do that, just their goal?
Nope. Yep. So basically, because I'm a transformation coach, so I'm not a physical trainer. I don't pretend to be. I'm not a Bitcoin investor or real estate investor. Don't pretend to be. Definitely not a marriage counselor, as evidence there, or a relationship coach. So I don't pretend to be. But what I can do is I can help people lay out that groundwork and that path to know what they're going to be facing, and help people discover their own game plan for how they're going to get there. Because there's a ton of different ways that you can like take wealth. I mean, you could talk to 10, 20, 50, 100 different people, and you're going to get 100 different ideas as to how to truly create wealth. But it's got to work for you, just like this program has to work for you.
That's true. That is 1,000% true. So is there anything you want my listeners to know before I let you go?
It's the biggest thing, and I'll say this repeatedly, but if you get to the point in life where you're feeling trapped and you've lost some of that passion, that vigor for really truly achieving what your potential is. If you want something different, do something different. Don't be the fly that keeps hitting the glass at the same spot until you die and you end up in the windowsill. Like, if you want different, do different. And so a lot of times that, it takes courage and it takes some bravery to raise your hand and email or whatever and say, hey, look, I am struggling with this, but trust me, you are not alone. You're actually in the majority if you're actually thinking that you need help, but there's a little bit less people that actually take it. It's like, if you're drowning and I throw you a rope, will you take it? Yes. Okay. Well, if you're telling me that you're drowning, I'm going to throw you a rope. It's just, are you going to take it, or are you going to be stubborn and say, I'll figure it out on my own?
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that. So I want to thank you so much, Todd, for coming on my podcast today and chatting with me.
Yeah, your book collection behind you rivals.
Thank you. You have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Brooke. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for... Got some in my throat. Thank you so much for listening to my interview with Todd. As we discussed, you can go on his website. He has his home event about Find Your Nine, contact, blog, coaching, and shop. So, as he said, you can go on here and schedule a free 30-minute consultation, and you can just chat with him to see if he's a best fit for you as a coach. And like he says, he just goes, you're just going to discuss your goals. So, I really got something stuck in my throat. Anyway, so you can go find his website at project9.life. project9life.com, and then you can schedule your own appointment. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope y'all have a great day, and see you next time.